Good afternoon and welcome to the Peace Circle, where we come together to be that change we wish to see in the world. My name is Gina. I am a practitioner out of Concordia Centers for Spiritual Living in Rhode Island, and I am here today to celebrate life itself and be that change that we wish to see in the world. The Peace Circle is where we come together and know the truth of that oneness. We know that peace so that we may be it and shine it and live it and help others to do the same. So I welcome you here this evening, and I'd like to start with what the point of the Peace Circle is to me is this poem that I had written truly explains what it's all about. I too have a dream. In my dream too, we all are equal, and not color, religion, nor income defines who we are. Neither country nor region defines us as kin. Whether 2 legs or 4, plant or animal, we were all created of the one Creator, with no greater claim to borrow this beautiful earth. In my dream, we all are one, treating each other with love and respect, and living in peace. We are all truly awake, knowing our purpose to share love and joy, and to uplift each other, and in doing so, uplift ourselves. In my dream, we each remember and appreciate each other, and truly understand that all is well. And knowing that all is well, sometimes when we look at the world, it doesn't seem that way. When we see, whether they be shootings, whether it be deaths from coronavirus, whether it be, the illusions of what's out there in the world, at the same time knowing that the inherent nature of divine is peace. So that there is a divine plan. And I know that peace, world peace, is possible. That any and everyone has that gift within them. I never knew that growing up. I never knew how to be peaceful. I never knew what that meant. It sounded like a sound bite more than it was an instruction. I didn't understand how. I didn't know what meditation was. I grew up in inner city Boston, and that wasn't anything that was ever practiced in my family. So when I thought of world peace, yes, I wanted it, but I didn't know how to do anything to cultivate it. I didn't know how to make it a possibility in my life personally, let alone to be a catalyst for it in the world. And we here at New Thought Media Network, and here at Centers for Spiritual Living and New Thought in general, are here to be that change that we wish to see in the world, to raise the vibration so that we put forth a world that works for everyone. And when it comes to the Peace Circle, I use a different topic every Monday night. We come together for music, meditation, and message. And that one topic is what we bring forth and how to bring peace from that. And today's topic is a joy. Yes, being joyful. I put this shirt on this morning and I said, this has to be the topic. Because when I wear this shirt, I smile. It makes me, every time I notice it, I smile. I get to choose how I feel on any given day. Each person has that ability. And today I offer you the knowing that you get to choose for you what that peace comes from. It's a practice. It's not something that just shows up in life one day. It's a practice. It's something that we can practice in different ways to get to that place within us that is that still small voice, that is that joy, that is that love, that spirit is. All the good stuff is within, and we get to be that. Now, this is live, so please, I invite you to share anything and whatever's on your heart. I invite you to, ask questions or give me examples or anything that may come up for you. So invite you to know joy is divine's inherent nature. And if that's the case, then it's always possible. Now, for me, that holds extra meaning for me. My first book that I actually started writing is Your Journey to Happiness. And step 4 of this 10-step book is joy is the only purpose of life. I believe that we are here to celebrate and practice and be an expression of divine. Divine lives and breathes and moves through us and wants that joy, wants that interaction, wants that expansion of life itself. And we all have that ability to cultivate joy. So how do we do that? If we're seeing things we don't necessarily like or understand, how do we cultivate that joy? And I say here in step 4, I say, regardless of how you were taught, you get to choose how you live each day. You get to choose what you spend your time on. You get to choose what job, mate, friends, lifestyle you choose to live. Some people spend a lifetime living with the unconscious choices that others taught them to make. It is time to wake up and claim your life. I'm going to read that again. It is time to wake up and claim your life. It doesn't mean to go out and live recklessly. It simply means to realize that you can make the choices that bring you joy. Living in joy means you light up from the inside. Joy and contentment radiates and cannot be hidden. A joyous person glows with bright eyes, a smile that is infectious, and lives in exuberance for this day. If you have it, not only do you know it, but the world sees it and feels it. It's an energetic presence in any room. It's a lightness brought to any problem. It is an inherent understanding that while you may not understand something now, you have the knowing that all is well. It is a peaceful understanding, a trusting that everything happens for a reason, and that answers will be revealed in divine timing. See, that's where faith comes in. It's knowing that even if I don't understand what it looks like right now, there's something bigger in store. There's a divine plan here. And joy is something that it's living in 3D. It's being present. It's celebrating life. Not because it's all going right, but because I get to live it. Spirit as me gives me choice. And I get to look at perspectives on things, good, bad, or indifferent. I get to choose what I see, and I get to share what I have with the world. So am I part of the problem or part of the solution? See, it's not somebody else's responsibility to make me happy. I get to choose that. See, the show, I have 2 shows here on this network. I'm blessed to share in that with, one of them is this, the Peace Circle, and the other one is The Joy is in the Journey. Now, The Joy is in the Journey, which is on Thursdays, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The reason that I have that show is because it's not about a destination. The joy is in the day. It's about if life was a mountain and we were reaching for that mountaintop, it's not about the destination. There's a beautiful view from every step up that mountain. And I don't want to miss anything because it doesn't come back around again. You will never be where you are right in this moment. The people that are in your life that you love and celebrate and honor you may not be here 10 years from now? And I don't say that in doomsday approach. I've learned that, there are plenty of people that have blessed my life that aren't still here. And it doesn't mean that life doesn't go on. It doesn't mean that I don't have the right to grieve, but I can celebrate them more than I can just miss them. When I celebrate my sister, I tell people about the amazing woman that she was, the smile that she had, her laugh. I talk about her, independent nature and what I learned from her. That's a gift. So when I celebrate, enjoy her memory, it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't mean that I don't miss her, but I get a choice. I can celebrate one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given, or I can stay stuck in what I don't have anymore. I also have 4 grandchildren that were not here when she was. So we can't all be on the planet at the same time. And it's hard to lose people we love. But at the same time, there are other things that come into our life. And I can either miss the joy of my grandchildren because I'm depressed about other things, or I can go with the flow of the tides. And just like emotions are, just like the tides in the water, you know what? Emotions can come and they can go. They can flow through me. And I don't have to get stuck in the ones that I don't want, but I can hold on to the ones and ride the waves that I do want. And that's what joyous living is. There's a light within you. There's something precious about you that Spirit gave you. And you are here to shine that light, to shine that greatness. So I invite you, as you listen to this song, it is actually my favorite quote is going to begin it. It's a Marianne Williamson quote. And it comes right into my personal theme song, my favorite song, that is what I go to when I am not feeling that joy. I remember who I am and whose I am when I play this song. So I invite you to listen and take these words to heart.
I want to bring to you something about you. It is a quote. I quote, "Our worst fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. This is with gratitude to Marianne Williamson, everybody. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, there's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. May we know that together. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Mama, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine, shine everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All in my room. I'm gonna let it shine all in my room. I'm gonna let it shine all in my room. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light is a light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, shine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
So I ask you, are you shining? Are you shining? Are you bringing that light of divine into the world today? And some people may say, well, I'm at home. I'm not seeing a lot of people. These days, there's Zoom calls all the time, and we get to see people all the time with that. And even when we call, you don't have to see someone to know that they're smiling. You can hear it in their voice. I'm going to read a page today out of the Daily Word. It's from April 1st, actually, of last year. And it says, I laugh and bring forth the joy of God. Children express joy effortlessly. Today, I take a cue from children and share joy through my laughter. This expression of pure happiness increases my awareness of God because it allows me to fully experience and share my divinity. When I'm joyful, I enter the kingdom of heaven within myself. Laughter shifts me into a playful and more childlike state of being, even if it lasts only a moment or two. Laughter takes me out of my worldly thoughts and brings me fully into the present. I bring forth the essence of God as I laugh and feel pure happiness, which attracts other people to me. I share my laughter and my happiness as my lively energy catches on and draws all those around me into the experience of joy. Think about that. I share my laughter and my happiness as my lively energy catches on and draws all those around me into the experience of joy. What is better than that? Bringing joy into the world, being that catalyst of laughter. And we've all heard that. Heard someone that's laughing, and whether they laugh deeply, I actually have a very loud bellowing laugh that you hear it across a room. And it's I'm not self-conscious because I think it's wonderful to laugh. And it's, they have laughing yoga. They have meditations that you just are smiling, and there's so many different blessings in just the smile, to be in that place. And even if you force it to start and you just put a smile on your face, before you know it, you're happy. It's the way that it works. Watch a comedy instead of a tragedy. There's a time and a place to be in the world and to watch the news and know what's going on. And then there's a time to pull ourselves away and know truth. You may be the only message of divine a person sees on any given day. You may be the only hope that they receive. And that smile and that joy can do it. We get what's called perspective. It's not an event, it's how we look at it. Sometimes even the worst of things, good comes from it. There's a greater awareness of a world unity than there was a year ago when the pandemic first started. Knowing that the whole world is in it together made it a whole lot smaller than it ever was before. There's good that can come from any circumstance. Mary Baker Eddy said, there's good here and I demand to see it. So demand to see it where you need to. And if you're having a problem with that, then you turn to spirit. You turn to your minister, or you turn to people that are in a place that can help you find your way back to your joy. We get that choice. Oftentimes, the media is only going to give the negatives. It sells, it sells. The darker, it makes people want to catch, it's a catchier headline. But that's not all people care about. That's why a lot of people don't watch it. And it doesn't mean that you hide away from it, because it's important that we know, because we can't be a place of change unless we remember that it is our light within. That is our greatness. Each person has that purpose, has that light within them. And it's up to you to shine it to the world. I truly believe that each individual is like a mosaic. And you don't know the beauty of that piece until you step back and see the beauty of what a mosaic picture becomes. Each piece is uniquely not just important. What good is a puzzle if you're missing one piece? You can't cut a different piece to look like that piece. The whole puzzle is useless. Spirit created only one of you on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. And it's remembering that and shining that light. And sometimes, like I said, it's doing what you love. What do you love to do? Who do you enjoy being around? Who brings you up that when you call, you're smiling, you're laughing, you're having a good time? Who are those people? And if you're not sure, then you need to meet some more people. We're getting out in the world again. It's safer by the day to be, once out and about. So it's being in that place. Maybe it's animals that bring you to life and make you smile. When a cat is purring right here, I have a cat that, she drives me crazy a lot of the time, but then she'll lie right here and she'll purr and fall asleep. There is no greater, it's like when a baby's heart is beating right on yours. It is pure love. It is life itself, pure joy. Find what is that catalyst of joy for you and do it often. I've known people and worked with, as a life coach, I've worked with people that loved horses. And financially, it's a lot to own a horse. But you can still be around horses. You don't have to own one. Volunteer, work at the stable. They let you ride them for free. And you go up one day a week. You get to enjoy the horses. And you don't have to worry about all the financial stress of it or anything else. You can choose to find a way to do anything that you love. Spiritual community for me is definitely one place that I find tremendous joy. Now, when we have shows like this, I always say encourage, when we're live, we encourage people to, what is it that you want to talk about? What is it? I'd love your comments, your feedback. Tell us where you are. That's absolutely part of it. But it's not always the same sense of community as going into a center, which we haven't necessarily been able to do for the past year. But things are changing and they're coming about. There is fellowship, though. There's plenty of opportunities for fellowship, even online. Look around. Look around. So I offer you to do more of what you love and allow Spirit to guide you if you're unsure. So I'm going to play this next song, and it is called Joy, Johnny Diaz, and I absolutely love it. It makes me smile. But I encourage you to listen to the words and remember that Spirit is always the answer when there's any question.
I might be halfway through this valley, and my eyes just can't see a quick way out. And it might seem life's got it out for me, like I'm in way too deep, but I have found every single circumstance I can place in greater hands. I won't let my trouble bring me down. I've got joy down in my soul. I'm gonna take it everywhere I go. Not gonna worry about what I don't know. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy here in my heart, waving like a torch, fighting off the dark. In the jet black night, I'm gonna see the stars. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy. 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 So I'll just cast my cares, won't sink into despair. I won't find answers there, only doubt. Every single circumstance I can place in greater hands. God, I know He'll never let me down. I've got joy down in my soul. I'm gonna take it everywhere I go. Not gonna worry about what I don't know. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy here in my heart, waving like a torch, fighting off the dark. In the jet black night, I'm gonna see the stars. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy. 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 It's gonna be my strength, be my truth, gonna light the way, see me through. Gonna be my hope, be my shield, gonna lift me up no matter how I feel. Gonna be my strength, be my truth, gonna light the way, see me through. Gonna be my hope, be my shield, gonna lift me up no matter how I feel. I've got joy down in my soul. I'm gonna take it everywhere I go. Not gonna worry about what I don't know. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy here in my heart, waving like a torch, fighting off the dark. In the jet black night, I'm gonna see the stars. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy. 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 I'll be alright as long as I've got joy. Joy. I'll be alright as long as I've got joy.
So joy it's there in our hearts. It's going to be my strength. It's going to be my hope. It's going to light the way to see me through, were some of the words in that song. And it absolutely does. I'm going to let you in on an embarrassing moment. I had picked out joy, like I said this morning, and I had already posted it. I had already put it out there. And then I took a ride to the post office and I fell. I fell right in front. And of course, it's a picture window, so everybody in the post office then saw me fall. And thankfully, I wasn't hurt, but I definitely was embarrassed. And I was, I got home a little sore, nothing major, but just so humiliated. And I don't know why it mattered in the moment, but it did. And I wasn't feeling joyful in that moment. Now it's an hour before I get started here, and I've picked this topic, and I have had so many instances where right before the peace circle, something happens. My very first time doing this, almost 10 years ago, I got some very difficult news about one of my daughters. And I remember thinking, Spirit, you guided me here. You guided me to do this. You need to carry me through this. And I fully abandoned myself in those moments. Whether it's in today, it was that humility of and some little physical discomfort and not feeling myself. And I just dove in and I said, okay, here we go. I give it to you. And when I go to Spirit and I abandon myself to Spirit and I simply allow the best of me to come forth because of Spirit, it's amazing how things change. Before this started, I was absolutely in the space to be here now. This isn't fake. I'm not pretending. I am in a joyful space. And it is because of the service of doing this and offering this that my life turns around. And I've learned how to bring the heaviest of stuff right to where it belongs. I can't, Spirit can, and I'm going to let Spirit do it. I'm going to celebrate life as it. I am so grateful to be here with you. And thank you, Deb's Love had made a couple of comments. And welcome, Wayne. It's so important to know that I need to lighten up on myself as much as anyone. We get the choice of how we react to anything that happens. And sometimes it's so easy to forget that anything and everything is an opportunity to turn to Spirit. Someone in my Practitioner 1 class once said, it was the ouch that makes us turn to that divine parent. It's ouch and turn to God is what he actually would say. And I loved that because when we're hurting, often that's exactly the time that we turn to. So it's a practice that we can have no matter what. It doesn't have to be when we're hurting. It can be any time. It can be all the time. And living in that joy, it's knowing that truth. And thank you, Wayne. That was very kind. It's true. Being good to yourself, the world is a better place because you're in it. And I say the same right back to you, Wayne. It's so important that we know Spirit chose us to be here now. Spirit chose us to be that representation. And on that, my favorite Ernest Holmes book is This Thing Called You. And I love it because to me, it is a love letter from Spirit. If you don't have it, again, it's This Thing Called You. Please do yourself the favor and read it as the love letter that it is. On page 137, it says, today I enter into the limitless variations of self-expression, which the Divine Spirit projects into my experience. Knowing that all experience is a play of life upon itself, the blossoming of love into self-expression, the coming forth of good into the joy of its own being. I enter into the game of living with joyful anticipation, with enthusiasm. I play the game of life well, and I enjoy it. Today I enter into my divine inheritance, shaking my thought clear from the belief that external conditions are imposed upon me. I declare the freedom of my divine sonship. I possess the kingdom of God in all long, sincerely, and simply upon every object, every person. I wait at the doorway of my expectation until my acceptance grants me the privilege of beholding his face forevermore. I shall not wait long, for today I expect to see his shining presence. I expect to don the seamless robe of divine union. Today is my day. I let it live itself through me. So, Spirit, as each one of us has this gift, this opportunity of choice, and in celebrating that choice, knowing and celebrating, it's amazing what comes forth. It's knowing that Spirit as you is lifting, carrying when needed, supplying every good thing, and we can don that robe and live in that place of joyful expectancy. It's knowing, like on Christmas morning, knowing and waking up and expecting the good. And you don't know what that may be. It's like when that little kid has this presents under the tree and can't wait to open it. Every morning can be like that if we are in the right mental space. It's communing with that higher part of ourselves and allowing Spirit to not just carry, but show the way, guide, and fearlessly doing the next right thing. Some days that's easier than others, but we always have a choice. So when you're there's a question or there's something that may be calling to you, I invite you to settle in and ask Spirit, is this mine to do? If there's any question. Have spiritual practices that start your day, just like if you were on a boat, you would point the sails in the right direction. You know, there's a reason when you're driving a car, there's a steering wheel, because you're pointing in the direction that you're choosing to go. Well, our spiritual practices do those same things. We get to choose the direction, that true north, that Spirit as me. We get to have that opportunity of just being in that presence, in the presence. And when we start that day, when we start our day in that way, we know what direction we're headed. We know that divine direction. And there's so many tools that we have. We have visioning, we have meditation, we have journaling. There's spiritual readings. You know, one of the things that our community does is we get together for a morning call Monday through Friday. And it's 7 to 8. And we do actually meditation, visioning, and it's a prayer. We do affirmative prayer, you know, and we ask, what are we grateful for? And what is our prayer request? Gratitude is the fastest way to joy. It's also what we think about is what we're bringing about. So if I am focused on the good and I am focused on what I want in my life, I get the choice to bring more of it to me. If I'm complaining, if I'm unhappy, if I'm in this place of why me, I'm attracting more of that, which is the last thing we'd want. So why is it that we get so caught up in the form of any given moment? So it's about having those practices, especially morning time is a great time. Right before bed is another wonderful time to just recenter and remember truth. So that the last thing I think about when I go to sleep is truth. It is Spirit. And the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning is Spirit. So I invite you to listen to this next song. And it is Joy in Our Hearts. It's Karen Drucker. And I invite you to just listen and allow that joy to bubble up within you.
peace for all seasons. Love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, joy, sweet joy in our choice to show some kindness. We all are part of one family, yeah. So connected, our hearts and spirit. I reach out for you, you reach out for me. Now peace for our seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, joy, joy in our hearts. Now is the time to come together to count our blessings. We are grateful. We lift our voices in one chorus. My brothers, my sisters, let's celebrate. Now peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, joy, joy in our hearts. Oh yeah. Talking about joy. Give a little bit of faith and hope. Let's celebrate peace. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate light that shines. Shine, shine, shine. Let's celebrate faith. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Joy in our hearts. Now peace for our seasons. Love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, joy, joy in our hearts. Oh, peace for our seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, and joy, joy in our hearts. Joy, joy in our hearts, and joy, joy, joy in our hey, hey, hey. Oh, in our hearts now. I talk about joy. Oh, love. Let's celebrate love, and peace. It's the season. Gonna find a reason.
Talk about
Oh, talk about love.
talk about love.
Talk about love. Shine my light, shine my light, shine my light, shine my light, shine my light. Joy, go to shining light.
And one of the gifts that we know in our teaching is that energy is everything. So when we are in a joyful space, when we are in that place, we are lifting up not just ourselves, but all those around us. You know, the mood that you bring to any gathering, you're either lifting up or you're bringing it down. But it's knowing that not just to a gathering, we are here to be the change we wish to see in the world. We want to create and cultivate peace. We have to be at peace. We must be that. And it's a lot easier to be at peace when we're happy than it is when we're not. When we're not experiencing that spirit as us. When we're not within and knowing that that is always available at any given moment. I once heard my minister had talked about it. I loved the story. There was a guy that would say to his wife all the time, that their neighbors couldn't believe what a mess their house was, that their windows were filthy, and aren't they ever going to clean them? And he would go to the wife again and again, and he'd just say, I don't know how they can even see out those windows. And he would talk about it. He'd never say anything to them, but, he would tell his wife all the time. And one day he goes to his wife and says, I can't believe it. They finally cleaned their windows. And she said, no, I cleaned ours. So for years, this man went on talking about other people when it was his own window that needed to be washed. How often have any of us done that? Seen something we didn't like, but when we really thought about it, it happens to us all the time. I know driving in a car, people cut us off. How many times have we accidentally had a blind spot and didn't see someone? Or we didn't realize that, the light had turned green and we waited an extra few seconds. How many times did we almost miss an exit, so maybe we rushed over at the last minute? Everyone has those experiences that it happens. Some people, it like tears them apart. My mother used to swear at people out the window, God bless her. And she wasn't even driving, and she'd get so upset at people that were driving in whatever way. And my take on it, most of the time when I'm in the right place, was at least I'm not that person. At least I don't have to be rageful. I don't have to be angry. And if you're in a hurry, I just hope you get there safely. I hope that you and everybody that is in your path is also safe. And I'm thankful that I'm not in a race anymore, because I was always rushing to that next thing. I was always in that have to do and never being. Life is absolutely what we choose to look at. It comes out. So it's being mindful that I am the one that's looking through the lenses. And I love the saying, fix my eyes, because it gives me the opportunity for spirit to direct my thinking, my focus, my perspective. I'd like to read a poem that I had written called Joyous Living. Joy is the purpose of life, to soar and sing. Your heart was meant to take flight with all the good it brings. Live loud and do only what you love, and life will look as you dreamt of. Trust yourself more, have fun, and relax. When burdened, every step seems a task. Celebrate your journey, not just your destination. Each day comes with new blessings and revelations. Passionately pursue your purpose, not as a duty, but allowing your divine compass within to point joy as your treasure and happy life you are certain to win. Be patient, loving, and kind to others, but especially yourself, and you will find most others will treat you in kind. Measure your worth not by your bank book, but by the company you keep. Worth is never skin deep. Life is an adventure, not a game to be won or lost, but simply to be enjoyed in the moment, or it is lost. Choose consciously who you become, and experience will help you appreciate that you are never undone. For the wisest of souls knows not their fate, for it would only limit what they create. Dance joyfully through this magnificent day and trust your higher power to carry you through another day. So be in this joyful moment. Be in this living that is right here and right now. We get a choice, and that is a miracle in itself. We get to choose what it is that we're spending our time on, who we're with, and how we think of ourselves is going to be that lens that allows us to share unabandonedly. Because what we give, we receive. And if we're caught up in whatever it may be, the drama of the moment, we're missing out on the beauty and the gifts that are right here all the time, completely inherent. So the last thing I'm going to share with you is from Ernest Holmes, the Creative Ideas, the little book with a whole lot of heart. And it says, I walk in joy. We should not consider that our good is something that is to transpire in the future, but rather that it is transpiring right now, today, in this present moment in which we live. We need to recognize that the good we desire can become ours only as we accept it now. And Ernest Holmes goes on with the treatment. It says, every good thing necessary to my success already belongs to the realm of God, which I know is at hand. So today I am expecting good to happen to me. I anticipate success in all my activities. I believe that divine intelligence guides me in my right activities. And because I know that God always succeeds, I now succeeds in and through my endeavors. I know that now everything necessary to my success is being brought about, and there is complete fulfillment of every worthwhile idea. I accept that God is active in my affairs, knowing that God is in all people. There is joyous cooperation with others. Therefore, I help and am helped, knowing that God is the great giver. I accept God's gifts and myself become a giver to life. The abundance of God that contains all that belongs to my life of good is available to me today. I accept it now, and it manifests in and through me, and I am prospered. I accept those beautiful gifts, and I accept them on your behalf, and knowing that truth, that spirit is that good. There's one more song, and it is a quick song that I'll play most of it because it is such a gift, and I love the energy and I love the truth of it. So I invite you to receive these words. Allow every cell of you to become alive with them. Know it, feel it, embrace and embody it.
Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell in my to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
All healing energy flows through me now. Harmony, balance, vitality, that glorious wisdom that creates and sustains health is mine. I live in divine well-being now and always.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body, and I am well. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
So allow Spirit to do what it does. Allow that light of divine to live and breathe as you today. Celebrate it in all ways. If you've been blessed here today, I invite you to be, to share what it is that you have. Let people know that this station is here, ntmedia.org. If you're able, go there, donate. Let people, allow this station to share to more people, because it is run by what it is that you offer. So if you're able, please, circulate that good. I am available. Reach me by all means. I'm available as a life coach, also as a practitioner for sessions. Gina at believeInYouToday.com. I would also love your feedback. Reach out to me anytime. Remember that we are also here at a.m. Mountain Time, 10:15 a.m. p.m. for prayer time on the East Coast. Know that we are here to bring the good news and know the truth with and for you. There's a prayer team here that prays every morning, every evening. Allow us to help be part of that spiritual practice. Know that there is good news. There is so much good here. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for helping to raise the vibration of this planet, to be the change that we wish to see in this world. We get to do that. We get to be that. So I invite you to practice joy, celebrate, be present, accept all the good that is meant for you as spirit. And join me for the Joys in the Journey on Thursday evening. I'd love to have you here. Know that it's 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And every week is a different topic of joy, of what our practice is, or what are different possibilities and way to bring joy into your life. Just like we talk about different ways to get into peace in this show, that's all about joy and how to be happy now, because that's what it's about right here and right now, celebrating the life that is right here for you, as you. So in that knowing, I am so grateful for you sharing this time with me, so grateful for this beautiful network that is bringing the good news out to the world, so grateful for these practices and truth. And I know that as each one goes on to their evening, that light radiates, that joy, that peace, as it is right here and right now, uplifts the planet and our world and all animals, all plants, all of nature and beyond, knowing that in that oneness, only good comes. So thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating the good news with me and being that peace that we wish to see in the world. So till next time, blessings and love. Namaste.